Hello again. We are continuing with our Verge3D tutorial. So at the previous stage we set up a Verge3D project and we will continue to create this application, and in this part we'll be creating materials. So let's start with the metal materials for the legs. So we just will be working with physical materials here. Let's add a new physical material and rename it right away because we'll be accessing it later when we'll be creating interactivity. So let's name it Chrome. And because it's metal, so let's change the metalness and maybe add some roughness. So let's make it 0.1 and assign to the legs. We want also to assign it to the leg tips with small model here. So let's assign it. Okay, so if you try to export it, just to check it, we'll get the black material. This is predictable because we didn't set an environment which will be reflected. So let's add an environment, and for this go to rendering, environment, and click here bitmap. Okay, and the good news is that we already got an HDR map in our default project, so you can use this HDR map, or you can use your own HDR texture, whatever. So let's just add the default environment HDR texture from the application folder, from our nightstand folder. So it looks like this, and let's open it. Okay, and it is set. So let's check it. Sneak peek. Yeah, so we got an environment set, and we got our first model part covered by a metallic material which reflects our environment. So let's continue with materials. So now we want to set up our wood material. So let's once again open the editor, the shader editor, and add a physical material which will be applied to the body and the drawer. So let's apply it. Actually, we need to select this material. Let's rename it. Let's rename it wood 1 because we'll be having 3 wood options. Select here, and assign it to the drawer and to the body of the nightstand. And we'll be needing some textures, and we can copy textures from the our starter files. We got 3 textures here in JPEG format. Square and power of 2, which is optimal for WebGL applications. So let's just copy them to the our nightstand application folder. So let's just copy them and use first wood texture in our material. So let's select wood, base color 1, and connect it to the base color map slot of our physics material. So we can check it, but we can actually have some preview here in the viewport. So in order to have some preview, let's change, let's go to this menu, materials, and select realistic materials with maps. So when we do this, we can see some material preview, and what we see is that our texture is a bit scaled, magnified. We want it to scale it down, and we can do this in the shader editor by applying some tiling to the map. Let's apply tiling, say 5 and 5. Okay, so we can also change our material settings so that we want roughness higher. So let's make it 0.7, and we can also go to advanced and lower reflections, say to 0.7 again. So let's spread it with this material. Let's check it in the browser. Yes, so we got wood material and the chrome material working, and what we can do else is to enable the reflections in the viewport as well. So we can go to viewport background here and enable environment background, and it will display some reflections in the viewport as well, so that we can make a more consistent viewport with the rendering. So this is pretty it. We got our model displayed, so we can export it to the GLTF again in order for our application to update our application, so that we can run it and see that it is updated. Let's move further. In the next part we'll be creating the floor and the shed and set up some shadows. So see you later.